Mr. Banner, may we start? I assume we are ready.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Chasselson?
Chair, just before we start, we asked at the end of the hearing yesterday for a series of documents from Mr. Carrim. The one was a two-page agreement with Mr. Mamela in relation to the mining venture. The one was the draft agreement that Ziggy had with Medicare 24. And then there were the details of the accountant who instructed that Mr. Matlala should pay Tamiz, not Ziggy. And lastly, we wanted to hear back from him after he'd consulted with his attorneys in relation to accessing his WhatsApps from 2024, 2025 with Mr. Mokgotsi and Mr. Matlala. I wonder if we can just get a response on the record from his legal team in that regard.
Mr. Banner?
I think we can just ask, you can just go through it with a witness and you'll hear it from him firsthand.
Sorry, if we can go through the...
Yes, he hasn't been able to get the two agreements. He needs to go to Matthew King. He'll tell you the name of the accountant. I've forgotten the name. And he'll also tell you the position with his messages.
Thanks, Mr. Carrim. Can we take them one by one, and can you just explain to me what the position is? The first is the draft agreement with Medicare 24.
Yeah, it's two documents. Medicare, we can deal with the two.
Okay, the Medicare 24 and...
those documents and my gang. At the moment, my offices are closed because of the threats. So I have those documents. Once those threats just subside, my office is working remotely now. My people are working remotely. But those documents will be made available as soon as I get to Mafeking, as soon as it just comes down, maybe in the next week and a half.
Thank you. So that's both the Mamela agreement relating to Chrome Core and
Yes.
the draft agreement with Medicare 24.
Yes.
Then the accountant who advised you in relation to payments from Mr. Matlala.
My legal team will send an email to the instructing attorneys with the email address and the contact details. You can just send your request there.
Thank you very much. And then lastly, the issue of WhatsApps with Mr. Mokgotsi and Mr. Mamela in 2024 and 2025.
I've checked my iCloud. I don't do backups. I don't have any chats on my current cell phone from then.
So your WhatsApps for that period are not available.
I don't have backup, so they don't back up, and I changed my phone.
And would you give us your authority to approach Apple so that Apple can search on their backups?
I'll speak to my legal team about that, and they'll revert to you.
Thank you. When we left off yesterday, we were dealing with the payments to Mr. Mamela or to Lutaga for Mr. Mamela that were made by Tamiz from the proceeds of payments from Medicare. Now, at the time that you entered, I want to stay with the issue of Mr. Mamela for a while. At the time that you started this business relationship with Mr. Matlala, I assume that you were aware that Mr. Mamela had been a business associate of Mr. Matlala.
At that point, he didn't disclose that to me.
No, but you'd read articles. We discussed earlier that from, I think it was April 2024, you'd read articles about allegations in relation to Mr. Mamela and Mr. Matlala at Tembisa Hospital.
Yes, we never discussed those relations. He never brought Mr. Matlala up to me.
No, yes, but I'm asking, were you aware that there was a business relationship between the two of them?
At that point, I saw articles, but there was no direct link between them.
I see. So all you knew is what you had read in the press about them.
That's correct.
Did you at any other stage find out about business relationships between Mr. Madlanga and Mr. Mamela?
When I concluded the agreement, or when we had the handshake or the verbal agreement with Mr. Madlanga in June, around August, I then asked Mr. Mamela, look, you've never raised Mr. Madlanga with me. Are you and Mr. Madlanga associates? What is the issue? He then said to me, yes, we are. So I asked him, but you never told me this. He said, yeah, look, I don't think it was important for you to have met this man through me. And that was his stance. He said, look, I didn't want to introduce you to Mr. Madlanga. I said, why? He just said, no, I didn't want to introduce you to Mr. Madlanga.
At a certain point, Mr. Madlanga must have established that you and Mr. Mamela knew each other.
Not that he told me of, unless Mr. Mamela discussed it with him.
Well, your Morgan sorted email suggests that he knows that you know who Morgan is.
Yes, remember, he then said, I must make a payment to Morgan Mamela.
And at that point, did he not know that you knew Mr. Mamela?
Well, he also played to me as if he didn't know that me and Mr. Mamela are friends.
So, from your perspective, someone was asking you to make a payment to a third party who, as far as you were aware, they regarded as a complete stranger to you. So when you were asked to pay Mr. Mamela, Mr. Madlanga didn't give any indication that he knew that you and Mr. Mamela were friends.
No, between the two of them, and I observed this, they did not raise how deep their relationship was to me. They did not.
But Mr. Mamela was also calling you at the same time and pressurizing you to get Mr. Madlanga to pay him. What was he saying in that regard?
No, he said he's asked this man to give him money, so this man needs to pay him this monies. He's aware that this man is going to pay me, and I should then please give him the money once I receive it.
So, but by this stage, this is after August 2024. It's well after August 2024. It's February 2025. So by this stage, you have discussed with Mr. Mamela that you're now in business with Mr. Madlanga. And he said, well, I didn't think it was important for me to introduce you. Didn't want to introduce you to him. But he now, in February, starts calling you and saying, Mr. Madlanga is going to pay you, you must pay me. Is that what happened?
They had an arrangement, or Mr. Madlanga, he asked to borrow money from Mr. Madlanga. I don't know what it was exactly. But according to him, Mr. Madlanga needed to pay him. Either money is owed or money is borrowed. I just can't remember what it was. But yes.
So you can't remember whether this was money that was being borrowed or money that was being paid out as an amount due to Mr. Mamela?
Yes, it's either a loan. I can't remember.
Can I take you to some other chats in relation to yourself, Mr. Madlanga, and Mr. Mamela? Do you recall in January 2025, there was an exchange between you and Mr. Mamela, and Mr. Madlanga, in which he asked you to check how far payment was?
Can we go to that document?
Yes, we can. The document is on page 4.
Page 4 of, okay.
File 1, the evidence bundle.
Yes.
And we went through this yesterday. You get called on the 30th of January by Mr. Madlanga, Salam, brother, can you please check with your guys how far is the payment? You come back saying checking. He says, and you say, we'll revert. He says, okay, thanks. Next morning, you say, morning, they say payment is done, I'm waiting for the remittance. If we go at this point to page 538, that's file 2.
Sorry, I'm just struggling here. One
No
second.
problem.
Five.
538.
I'm on 414407.
Does your file not go to 538? File 2? Possibly in a supplementary file?
Yeah.
So at 538, we see that on the same day, the 31st of January, after you've said, I'm waiting for the remittance, and in fact, after Mr. Madlanga has responded, okay, I'll be waiting, and has asked you, you're winning with the remittance, which was at 15:15 on the 31st of January. A minute later, he sends a screenshot of that chat to Mr. Mamela. You see that?
Yes,
This
I
is
see
this
that.
is his chat with Mr. Mamela.
Yes.
And the date is the 31st and the time is 15:16:10. So he is copying his chat with you to Mr. Mamela.
I have no idea why you do that.
Well, let's go further. We go back to page 5. You see 40 seconds after he sent the screenshot to Mr. Mamela, which ends with you winning the remittance, you winning with the remittance, you responded, not yet. He sent that screenshot at 15:16:10. You respond at 15:16:52, 42 seconds later. And then you say, the lady and sisters paid, I'm just waiting for some proof. We go back to 539. And we see that after you have answered his question, you're winning with the remittance, and you've said, not yet, the lady and sisters paid, I'm just waiting for some proof. He emails that chat to Mr. Mamela. So he's now emailed to Mr. Mamela an updated version of his chat with you.
Emailed or?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, yes.
WhatsApp. And straight after WhatsApping to Mr. Mamela at 15:29:23, we go back to 5. He says at 15:29:46, he says to you, okay, we'll see when it appears in the account.
Yes.
So he's having a conversation with you, and he is essentially copying that conversation as it develops to Mr. Mamela.
I see that, yes.
And you have no idea why he would be
I
here.
have no idea. It's the first time I'm seeing this. I don't know why I would take my chats and pass them over to Mr. Mamela.
I see. Let's look at a second instance of this. Can we go to page 11? And there we see at the top of page 11 on the 18th of March, at 10:22 and 10:23, there are calls from Mr. Matlala to you. And at 10:40, you respond saying, Salam, I'll call you at 12. And he immediately responds to you at 10:41, saying WLKM SLM, which I understand to be Wa alaikum salam.
Yes.
If we then go to 5:44, we see that as soon as he has said wa alaikum salam to you, he again WhatsApps a screenshot of that chat, which just shows two empty voice calls, Salam, I'll call you at 12, wa alaikum salam, to Mr. Mamela. And if we go down, we see at 10:41:43 there is an immediate response from Mr. Mamela. He calls Mr. Matlala back. You see that?
Yes.
Do you have any idea what you were discussing on 18 March 2025 that may have been of such importance that Mr. Mamela wanted to screenshot that exchange? Sorry, Mr. Matlala wanted to screenshot that exchange to Mr. Mamela, and Mr. Mamela immediately responded to the screenshot of what just says voice call, salam, I'll call you at 12. He immediately responded. Any recollection of what you would have been talking about on 18 March?
No, I don't know why he was sending Mr. Mamela my screenshots. I can't recall of anything important that we were discussing with Mr. Matlala.
Well, let me try to jog your memory. If you go to 5:43, you will see that almost immediately after your voice calls with Mr. Matlala, which were at 10:22, those voice calls that we just saw on the screenshot, a series of visitor codes to Zimbali Estate. Well, let's go. Were WhatsApped from Mr. Mamela to Mr. Matlala. That help you remember anything?
No, I don't know. I don't know why he was sending him Zimbabwe. I've never been in, at this point, I was not even in Zimbabwe.
You weren't in Zimbabwe?
Yes.
No.
But I don't know why he was sending him this.
No, he wasn't sending them to you.
Yes, he was sending them to, yes. So,
Mr. Mamela sends them to Mr. Matlala.
Agreed, but I have no idea why these were sent.
Okay. Well, the evidence will be that one of these entrance codes that Mr. Mamela sent to Mr. Matlala immediately before that, those calls, those voice calls to you that were then screenshot and WhatsApped to Mr. Mamela, one of those entrance codes was forwarded by Mr. Matlala to General Tlele and was then used by General Tlele to enter the Zimbali estate. So at 10:41, when Mr. Matlala WhatsApped Mr. Mamela your exchanges, saying that you would call at 12, it seems that they knew that Mr. Matlala was likely to be meeting with General Cele at the time. Was any of this discussed with you?
No, nothing. I know nothing about this. Any meetings, I knew nothing about this. Not at all.
You didn't know about that.
Not at all.
And in due course, you did call back at 12:28. We see that at 11. Go back to page 11.
Yes. Yes.
And you have no recollection of what transpired in that call.
I can't recall what we were talking about, but
And no one mentioned anything about General Cele to you.
I knew nothing about this meeting.
But what it does appear is that Mr. Mamela and Mr. Matlala knew that Mr. Matlala would be meeting with General Cele at the time that you were likely to call. And they didn't seem to make any attempt to stop your call. Have any comment on that?
Yes, but it was definitely not related to General Kelly. I did not know about this meeting. Not
You
at
didn't
all.
know about that.
No, I did not know about this meeting.
Let's go to another issue in relation to Mr. Mamela. In your witness statement at page 5, paragraph 47, you talk about that interdict.
What paragraph?
Paragraph 47, page 9 of the witness statement.
You said 5.
I apologize. Page 9. Page 9.
File 1.
Perhaps,
Of the witness statement pile.
sorry, Mr. Shaskalsin, I see from the heading it's a totally different subject. May I just ask 2 or so questions around the issue of the payment? Mr. Carrim, you'll remember that yesterday I asked you, and I think Commissioner Baloyi also asked you questions along the same lines. I asked you as to why Mr. Matlala had not paid directly to Mr. Maumela. And I think you didn't really have an explanation for that. Am I correct?
No, I did, counsel.
You did. All right. What was
I
the
did,
explanation?
Commissioner.
I'm sorry.
No, I said he insisted. And I said to him on numerous occasions, you can do it yourself. You can pay this money.
Yes.
Why do you want me to pay this money? He said, look, you need to help me. You need to pay this money. I'm under pressure. I need to pay him this money. And that was the explanation that he gave me.
That's not really an explanation. That's just an insistence that you must do it instead of him. So it doesn't really explain why you and not him. So I guess that's why I was saying, and you didn't really have an explanation.
Yes.
Yes. Now, it seems to me that this gets complicated in the sense that Mr. Maumela, I'll paraphrase, of course, I will not use the exact words that you used. You said something like, Mr. Maumela said to you, this man had to pay him, and that you must pay him after you've been paid. Am I correct? Is my paraphrase correct?
No, I'm saying the arrangement was between them. And once Mr. Matlala,
I'm talking about, am I correct that there was communication between you and Mr. Maumela in relation to the payment. Am I
Yes, but
correct?
before that, him and Mr. Matlala were discussing the payment.
Yeah. But now I'm talking about.
Me and Mr. Maumela, yes.
Yes, yes. And as I say, I mean, I took cryptic notes, but what I captured was you said something like this man being Mr. Matlala, must pay must pay Mr. Maumela. And also that once you have received payment from Mr. Matlala, you must then pay Mr. Maumela. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yes. So I'm saying this, in a sense, gets complicated in addition to the questions I asked yesterday. I'm wondering, in my mind, Mr. Maumela already knows that he's going to be paid out of monies that have been paid to you. And I'm wondering, why is he not saying to Mr. Matlala, pay me? And did you ask, why must it be this secateurs? Why must it, instead of the direct payment, let me, as Mr. Carrim, just get my money, and that's it. I have nothing to do with you. Get your money directly from Mr. Matlala. Do you have any idea why it had to be secateurs?
Like I said, Commissioner, I kept on saying to them.
Now I'm addressing between you and Mr.
Yes,
Maumela now.
it had to go. I agree that rightfully Mr. Matlala had to pay him, but like I said, they put me under pressure for me to have paid him. And I think I didn't refer to a document yesterday. And if I can just take you to this document on the messages.
Yes.
So he wanted me to pay him, and at the same time, if we can just go to the messages.
Which page?
When he called me to make this payment, he then called me and said, look, I've got more invoices in. I think those invoices.
You are talking Mr. Matlala.
Yeah,
now.
Mr. Matlala.
Yes.
So in order for him to make me or to force me to pay, he said to me, there's another 13 million rand going to be paid. So please, if you can pay this, and I'll see you good on the next payment. Because at that point, I was still asking, why don't you pay it directly? You can't pay it directly. He said, no, you must pay him. Please help me pay.
It would have been much easier and quicker for Mr. Matlala to pay directly to Mr. Maumela. I'm sure you would agree.
Yes, I agree. But
Yes. And did you ask Mr. Maumela why the payment had to be secateurs?
according to him, he said that was the instructions from Mr. Matlala that the payment will come via me.
But did you ask Mr. Maumela?
Yes, I asked him, why don't you ask Mr. Matlala to pay
To
you?
pay you
Yes, to
directly.
pay you. Why is he paying me? He said, no, Mr. Matlala said, you're going to make the payment. So that's why I'm calling you. Please, when you receive this money, make my payment.
But that doesn't answer the question. But why me instead of directly? Did you ask that?
I've asked him. Like I've said, I've asked Mr. Maumela, Mr. Maumela.
Yeah, you see, thing is, being told that Mr. Matlala said he will pay you and you will pay me doesn't answer the question, but why is the payment not direct? Do you get what I mean?
Yes,
Did you ask why is the payment not
I
direct?
did ask. I just didn't get a response from Mr. Matlala was just insistent. He would just be insistent. He would say, please, you just have to do this. He would not even give a reason. And I asked him, you can make this payment directly. You don't need me to pay him. Why must I pay him? And he gave Mr. Maumela the same story and said, just call Carrim and tell Carrim to make the payment once he
So
gets it.
you basically have no explanation from Mr. Matlala. You also have no explanation from Mr. Maumela. Did you not become suspicious of all this?
No, Mr. Matlala's explanation, like I said, he either owed, I can't remember correctly, either owed or loaned, something to that effect.
Earlier I asked you, and what you said was not really an explanation, and I said to you in so many words when we commenced with this debate, I said, but that was not an explanation.
Yes, he didn't give me an explanation, Commissioner.
Yeah, so my question then is, you have no explanation from Mr. Matlala, you have no explanation from Mr. Maumela. Did you not become suspicious about this secretar's mode of payment and why it had to be so?
Yes, I did. But like I said, on Mr. Matlala's instructions, there was more money to come. So I didn't want to upset him so that I don't get money on the next payment.
So you say you did have a suspicion. What was that suspicion?
No, the suspicion was that why would he not pay directly? Why would he want to pay me?
What was the nature of the suspicion that you had? What did you suspect?
No, I just suspected between the two of them, why were they using me? They could have just dealt directly. And then Mr. Matlala then says to me, look, there's another payment coming in of 13 million. I'll see you good there. So please just do this for me. And when the next payment comes in, I'll sort you out.
And then despite that suspicion, you just went ahead and paid as requested by Mr. Matlala.
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You were referring to the chats. Are you referring to the chats of the Morgan sorted payment, which are on page 7?
No. Can we just go back to your question? We were busy with we were busy with the chats.
No, I'm just following up on the question the chair's asked you at this stage and your answer to the chair. So you said at the start of your answer you wanted to refer to the chats, and you talked about a call that you had with Mr. Matlala, and if I understood your evidence correctly, that was the call where Mr. Matlala said, just do this and now there's more money coming. I'll pay you out of the next payment.
Yes, I was going back to the issues of, I think, was it the chats between Morgan and between Mr. Maumela and Mr. Matlala.
Which chat? So there was the chat in relation to invoicing at the end of January, and then there was the chat that happened to be on the same day that Mr. Matlala met General Tlele at Mr. Maumela's house in Zimbabwe. Which of those chats were you referring to?
I wanted to go back to where Mr. Matlala then sends me a payment screenshot on the 7th of March.
Look at page 6. Is that the screenshot you're looking for? The one that shows the payments that are going to reflect on the 4th?
No, I was going to the one of the 7th of March on page 8.
Yes.
Where he mentioned to me that these payments are coming, and then he then sends me the screenshot of those payments coming.
And what were you, I just didn't understand your reference to it. What
I was just trying to say that the reason I made that payment was because he dangled this in front of me and said, here's more money coming, make this payment for me.
But which payment are we talking about now?
I'm saying he knew already I'm talking about here when we go back to the 4th of Feb.
Yes.
That's the first payment.
Yes. But that screenshot is sent to you on the 7th of March sometime after you paid 500,000 rands to Mr. Maumela.
Yes, but I'm saying, sorry, Council, I'm saying he knew about this payment then already. So he called me about this payment of 13 million and said, there's a payment of 13 million coming. And I was like, can you send me something? And as time went on, I said to him, you said I must pay Mr. Maumela and there's money coming. you have to reimburse my money. That's when he sent me this screenshot to try and convince me in March that money is coming.
But then after you've seen that screenshot, he asks you to pay more to Mr. Maumela.
Yes, another 250.
Yes, and you do.
Yes, because he then says to me, I'm giving you money, here's money coming. If you can recall, Council, yesterday I said the initial amount they wanted me to pay was 750, which I refused on that first payment.
Yes, I understand that. But if I understood your evidence correctly now, what you were saying is he offered you the prospect of more money coming so that you could pay Mr. Maumela the 500 that you'd now agreed to pay, and he would give you back that 500 and more with your further payments.
Yes, he said that, but he didn't give it back to me.
Yes, but then why in the face of that, when the next payment comes through and is only 1 million, so you're now in a net position where that payment is really only 500,000 because 500,000 of it really has already been paid by you to Mr. Maumela. Why do you go ahead and then pay half of your net proceeds to Mr. Maumela, 250?
It was 250 from a million, so it was not half, it was a
but
quarter.
500 of the million was what you were owed from the first payment, was it not?
Yes, when I asked him, he then said to me, I'll make a follow-up payment, which didn't happen. And then he then said to me, I think if we can go to page 9, is it the 10th of March? This was the 7th. There's another one here also related to payments.
Are you talking about the screen at 1743 on the 10th of March?
Yeah, at the bottom there. He then says to me, no, that's still coming in. That will be still in the system and I'll see you good.
Mr. Carrim, I don't want to traverse ground that we traversed yesterday, but when we dealt with this stuff yesterday, I put it to you that you don't strike me, one, as a naive businessman, two, as a businessman who lets people walk all over you. And your response to that, and I must say, I was convinced, I found it an honest response and a response that I accepted, was yes, but I now was a bit scared because I had seen press reports and I had seen press reports. I didn't know if they were true or not, but I was scared. They may have been true. I wanted to protect my family and myself. Now, is that what your evidence is? Is your evidence that you paid Mr. Maumela the 500 and the 250 principally because you were scared not to comply with what Mr. Matlala was telling you to do?
Yes, I was, Council.
Because then I think let's just be clear about that. And promises of future money and the like, they're not really convincing. And I can accept that answer. I would also have been scared.
Okay, thank you.
But I now want to go back to the Maumela relationship. And if we go to page 9 of your statement, you talk about this Brown Mokgotsi Foundation interdict.
Yes.
And you say at paragraph 47, Brown approached me for financial assistance regarding litigation to review and set aside a tender that was prejudicing the people of the Northwest. I agreed to assist them financially because businesses in the Northwest are consistently overlooked when tenders are awarded, despite tender documents that award points to Northwest-based business. This doesn't contribute to economic growth from the Northwest. I'm from the Northwest, and this is a matter I care deeply about. So what you're saying is that the contribution to the Brown, your funding of the Brown Mokgotsi Foundation interdict was really because you're wanting Northwest money to stay in the Northwest.
That's correct.
Now, if we go to page 507, we see that although the litigant in this case was the Brown Mokgotsi Foundation, your payments didn't go to the Brown Mokgotsi Foundation, they went to Gotle Specialists. Is there a reason why you didn't pay the litigant? You paid, as it were, the principal officer of the litigant's wife, or the wife of the principal officer of the litigant. Why were these payments channeled through Gotle? Why did they not go straight to Brown Mokgotsi Foundation or indeed to the attorneys?
Brown Mokgotsi Foundation didn't have a bank account. According to what Mr. Mokgotsi said, he then asked me to please put these funds into Gotle Specialist and that he would transfer them to the attorneys, Tao Matsimela attorneys.
So this was an indirect payment which was made because you understood that Brown Mokgotsi Foundation didn't have a bank account.
That's what he told me.
That's what you'd been told. Why didn't you pay directly to the attorneys?
Because I needed to show, Brown said to me they were going to refund me this money. He was approached by a few business forums, and together they would then refund this money at a later stage. So I then agreed to give it via his vehicle that he chose so that he can be the responsible person.
Now, if we go to page 511, we see the judgment in the case. It's a judgment of Brown Mokgotsi Foundation versus MEC for Health and Mediware. Mediware was the successful bidder, a successful tenderer that was interdicted. Is that correct?
Counsel, if you go into my statement, I clearly say there, I said to Brown, I'll assist them, but I don't want to be part of the litigation. So I'm not aware, I don't know about Mediware and who he was taking to court.
So you would assist, you weren't even aware that whether Mediware was a local company or not?
No, I did not get involved in the actual litigation. I said to him, I don't want to be part of the litigation, and they went ahead with this. I was not party to this.
So you put up funds for litigation to protect local businesses without even knowing whether the successful bidder was a local business?
Like I said, I did not want to be part of the litigation, so I did not want to check I did not even check who's going to court, who's not going to court.
But Mr. Carrim, considering what you say in your statement, the reason for providing financial assistance is to make sure that business stays in the Northwest. I would expect that you would have looked at who is the winning bidder, because your interests, your declared interest in paragraph 48 is to make sure that that kind of business stays in the Northwest.
Yes, he approached me. He didn't give me details. He just said to me, there's these business forums. There were 3 or 4 business forums with him on the day of the meeting. They all requested that I assist them. And I said, okay, it's fine, I'll assist you, but I don't want to be part of the litigation. I'll assist you and you guys can then proceed. And they then agreed with Brown that they'll use his foundation.
Yes. No, I've heard you say you didn't want to be involved in the litigation. I've heard that part. I'm asking a different question, following up on what Mr. Chaskalson is discussing with you, that in paragraph 48, you say you provide assistance because you want business to stay in the Northwest. It must be business granted to Northwest-based businesses. That's what you say. So what I'm putting to you is that you surely would have satisfied yourself that this is the winning bidder is not a Northwest business.
Brown just told me it's a company from outside. I agreed with him and I assisted them with the funds.
So you knew it was a company from outside?
That's what he told me.
Yes, so you knew that.
That's
From
according
what Brown
from
told
Brown.
you.
Well, from what Brown told me, yes,
Thank you.
I knew that.
Now, did Brown ever meet with you and Mr. Mamela?
No,
You say no. Because after your evidence yesterday, Mr. Mogotsi called us up and said he had in fact met with you and Mr. Mamela shortly after this tender. You have no recollection of that?
no,
You have no recollection or you deny that that meeting
I
happened?
did not meet with Mr. Maumela and Mr. Mukhosi.
Okay.
So you deny that such a meeting took place?
Yes,
Do you know who Alu Construction is? ALOO.
no,
Can I take you to page 399? Maybe 398 is where to start. And the document on 398, anywhere tender. You see, Mr. Carrim, I find this quite anywhere tender. You see, Mr. Carrim, I find this quite difficult to believe because this interdict is an interdict that is funded over the period August and September. Well, let's go back to the dates. Your payments, your first payment comes in on the 10th of August,
which document?
page 507. Your first payment to Gotle is on the 10th of August, and your second payment is on the 19th of September.
Yes, I see that.
You see that. Now, your evidence yesterday was that over the period August to October 2023, you and Mr. Maumela were busy putting together a joint venture in a chrome mining operation. You recall that?
Yes,
And you'd already become friends because you purchased his house the previous year in 2022.
yes,
So, what you're saying to us today is that in August and September 2023, you put up funds to interdict the award of a tender to a party other than Mr. Maumela's company who had lost the tender. You successfully interdicted that, or your funds successfully contributed to the interdicting of that award. You were engaged in a joint venture with Mr. Maumela at the same time, a 50 million rand joint venture about a chrome mine. You had become friends because he had sold the house to you. But you had no idea that this interdict that you were running in the Northwest just happened to assist his company, Alu Construction, to have another attempt at winning the tender. Is that your evidence?
yes.
I'm afraid I have to put it to you that that evidence is false.
No, sir, that's not what happened.
So Mr. Maumela never mentioned to you that in your backyard he was bidding for a contract with the Department of Health.
No, he didn't.
And you just weren't aware when you put up this money to fund the litigation that just happened to be of great assistance to Mr. Maumela, that you were helping out your good friend and current business partner. You weren't aware.
No,
I see. I'm going to move away from Mr. Maumela now, so if there are any questions that anybody wants to ask, Well, then let me move. Can we go back now to discuss your arrangements with Mr. Matlala around the Medicare contract? You deal with them in your statement from paragraph sorry, if you can just bear with me for a minute.
Sorry, can we put file 2 away? We need to make some space here. It gets a bit.
Yes, we can. We might need to come back to. We might need to come back to file 2. I think about 10, 15 minutes. The version in your statement about your arrangement with Mr. Matlala was that this was, and it's in paragraphs 11 and 12 on page 3 of your statement. It was a relatively simple agreement. You advanced 10 million. You will be repaid. You'll get a return of an additional 10 million over the 3-year contract, and repayments will take the form of 10% of all payments. And you explain the monies that you advanced in respect of that agreement. That was the version in the statement. You said that you had no relationship with Mr. Matlala, or no commercial relationship with Mr. Matlala before. So you were dealing with him in a commercial context for the very first time.
Yes.
Yes. And he made an unsolicited approach to you for the money.
And
An unsolicited approach to you. It's not that you approached him, he approached you.
he approached me, yes.
And on what? How did he introduce himself? How did he say he came to you?
I explained that yesterday, Council.
Yes. You just say he knew you from the security industry and he arrived up in a Rolls Royce.
No. I said he contacted one of my security personnel who's on the website and requested my number there.
Yes. So he knew you from the security industry, which is how he at any rate said that he came to you. You took no security for your loan, the 10 million that you were lending. There was no security.
No.
No. You didn't conclude a written contract in respect of the loan. We covered this yesterday. I'm just setting out the curious features of this. That was the version that we saw in the statement. But it turned out that the statement didn't describe the whole story because you amplified considerably in your evidence. Your first piece of amplification was that you explained that for a while Mr. Matlala asked you for help with an accountant.
And that was much later into the contract, much later. It was around October.
So he asked you for help with an accountant to assist him with his business, and that was in October.
End of October, yeah.
Yes. But you didn't mention that in your statement.
Yeah, that was not in my statement.
Is there any reason why you didn't mention it?
No, there's no reason.
And you said that you had Mr. Mohammed sitting on a board committee of Medicare 2024 for a while to look after your interests.
It wasn't on the board. It was a finance committee.
A finance committee. So it wasn't the board itself. Was it a committee of the board or just an executive committee?
No, finance committee looking at invoices going to SAPS.
So he was looking at invoices going to SAPS and he was there to to protect both of your interests in that regard.
Yes.
And we saw, but that was also not mentioned in the statement. Is there any reason you didn't mention it in the statement?
No reason.
No reason. And we saw Mr. Madlanga expressly asking you for help with invoicing when you'd already gone off to Cape Town for the January 8th celebrations. You recall that?
He was not asking for help with invoices. At that specific time, Mr. Madlanga needed more funding. He wanted a meeting so that he could show me how much invoices are going in so that he could get a top up. At that time, he was looking for an additional 10 million rand.
Now, let's look at that message because I don't think that answer is consistent with the message. Go to page 2. His message to you is at 7:01:41. It's the green message on page 2. Salam, brother. Now is the time to start invoicing. Was wondering if I can see you before we send invoices. I can even come to your place. Please advise. He wanted to see you before he sent the invoices.
Correct. He wanted to show me what he's going to be submitting, how much invoices he's going to be submitting, and then show me that that's why he needed the additional funding, because we're going to have to wait for this money again, and he needed to service and pay more of his subcontractors.
But if that was all that he wanted to do, why did he need to see you, and why did he need to see you before he sent the invoices? Why didn't he just show you the invoices?
He needed to come because he asked me over the phone for the money. I said no. He said, so can I please come see you? Can I please come and show you what I need to do or what I'm going to be doing? This is what I'm doing. Can I come? He wanted a face-to-face meeting for that.
I can understand why he might have wanted a face-to-face meeting, but surely he'd have been in a better position on that face-to-face if he'd already sent invoices.
He wanted to show me. That's what he told me.
So you're saying he wasn't asking for help with invoices in this message?
Even when Mr. Mohammed sat on his committee, Mr. Mohammed was not in charge of assisting with the invoices, only to sit there and have a look and see what they're doing. We had absolutely no access to his invoicing, myself and Mr. Mohammed.
So what do you think Mr. Madlanga was wanting to show you? Was he wanting to show you draft invoices?
He wanted to show me all the invoices, the amounts of all the invoices that he was going to submit.
And what did you expect to see?
Invoices.
Invoices that hadn't been sent.
I'm not sure if he had sent them or not sent them yet.
Well, he hadn't sent them because he says before we send invoices.
Sorry, Mr. Chaskazan. Mr. Carrim, this discussion about this additional loan that you say this is what this WhatsApp message was about, when did that discussion happen?
It started around December when he wanted more funding.
Okay. And you say it started in December and continued when?
Continued-
When before this WhatsApp message?
Yeah, he continued post this message as well. He was looking for more funding.
Yes. You see, I'm asking because on that page 2, you have an afternoon. You send him afternoon on the 30th of December, and the next thing that happens in the series of communication is that WhatsApp message on the 7th of January. So there's no intervening communication between the two of you that accords with the explanation you are giving now about this WhatsApp message. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't understand, Council. Commissioner.
You say, you explain this WhatsApp message of the 7th of January as being about him wanting to talk to you about a loan. And what I'm saying to you, what I'm not seeing is a trail of communication between the 30th of December, which was the last message from you in 2024, where you say afternoon, and the next message from him on the 7th of January. There's nothing in between the two communication or pieces of communication which accords with your explanation or your attempted explanation of the message of the 7th. I would have expected to be either missed telephone calls in between, and then you would then testify and say, well, in those telephone calls, he told me he wanted to come and talk about the 10 million rand. But we don't have that.
There's a call on the 30th.
Yes? What about it?
I'm saying there's a call on the 30th. There was a few calls. We spoke about this additional funding.
Yes.
And I see my messages only start from the 11th of December.
Yes.
But there's many calls prior to this, and I'm sure if we can get his records, and even when he comes here, I'm sure he'll be able to tell you that he really needed extra funding. He was looking for that 10 million to top up.
Yes. He may well have needed extra funding, and he may well have had that conversation with you, but your explanation of the WhatsApp of the 7th of January, that it was to talk about the funding, it doesn't accord with this series of communication on the 30th of December, and then you get a message that's very specific. He wants to speak to you to see you rather, before he sends invoices. That's what he says to you, and then you say, well, it was about funding. It had to do with the additional funding. I don't understand that explanation. At least it's not reflected in these communications.
He wanted to show me the invoices. We spoke about this. He wanted to show me and say, here's invoices. Let's discuss. I'm sending these invoices in. Can you, based on what I'm sending in, can you then top up so much or so much? Because here's the invoices going in.
Yes.
I assisted him in no way to submit any invoices.
My point exactly, that you know that he wanted to, he's telling you about seeing you before he sends invoices. You know that he wants to show you the invoices because he wants to back up a request for payment, a request for a further loan, but there's nothing in this correspondence that supports that. You are giving an explanation to a message of the 7th, which is not backed up by anything that is on the face of that message.
But that was what transpired. We didn't even meet after that.
But do you accept that this message, on the face of it, it doesn't convey what you are saying? As I understand it, what you're conveying is he wanted to show you these invoices before he sends them off because he wanted to back up his request for funding, for further funding. That's what you're saying. Do you accept what I say to you? But this message itself, when you read this message together, especially together with your last message to him, there's nothing that backs up that explanation you are giving.
I'm sure when he comes here, he'll be able to back this up. Definitely.
Thank you.
If we go back to what actually happened in the operation of the contract, your evidence yesterday was, although the agreement was that you would get 10% of the income that you were entitled to when SAP started paying in September, you didn't take it because you let Mr. Madlanga keep that because he had cash flow problems.
He wanted to recover his site establishment costs.
Yes, but in terms of your agreement with him, you were entitled to take 10%. You had put up 10 million and you were going to get paid back 10% of all revenue that the contract generated.
Yes.
And you elected essentially to waive that right
We had a meeting, and in that meeting, we agreed that we'll allow that one to pass. But there were other invoices that were paid, which was not disclosed to me.
Other invoices that were paid when?
I'm not sure, but in between the periods where my people were removed from, or my person was removed. That's what I suspect. I don't have the proof of that, but that's my suspicion.
And have you managed to pin down those dates with better particularity as to when your people were there and when they weren't?
I've requested them. I should be getting those, and I will hand them over to you.
Thanks. If we move on, it says, well, when we move on, we see that when you finally start getting your payments, you agreed to act as a conduit for Mr. Matlala to pay Mr. Mamela a third of the first payment and a quarter of the gross second payment, which was in fact the same as 50% of the net second payment.
Council, I never said that yesterday. I was given two options by the commissioner yesterday, and I refused to accept that I was a conduit. There were two options given to me yesterday, and if we can go back to the transcripts, I had said I took the first option. I just need to go there and tell you what it was. But I didn't say that I was a conduit.
Well, we can see what the record says yesterday. Let's frame it this way. You agreed to take the payment that Mr. Matlala made to you of 1.5 million and to spend 500,000 of that paying Mr. Matlala's debt or loan to Mr. Mamela.
Yes.
Yes. And then when the second payment came in, you paid 250,000 of that to discharge Mr. Matlala's obligation or to advance a loan on his behalf to Mr. Mamela.
Yes.
And these were not, this had nothing to do with your relationship with Mr. Mamela, it had to do with Mr. Matlala's relationship with
Yes.
Mr. Mamela. So essentially you took 750,000 of your money to pay to Mr. Mamela at the request of Mr. Matlala.
It was not my money. I was going to be replaced. It was not my money. He asked me, he said, I'm giving you this money and I'm going to top you up. I'm going to make good on it.
So no, but either it was your money, in which case you weren't a conduit, or it was Mr. Matlala's money, in which case you were a conduit. Because if it was Mr. Matlala's money all along, then you were really acting as a conduit for Mr. Matlala to pay Mr. Mamela. If it was your money, then you have elected essentially to use your own money to pay Mr. Mamela because that's what Mr. Matlala wants you to do, and you will now have an additional claim against Mr. Matlala to claim that back.
Mr. Matlala asked me to pay that monies and said he'll replace those monies.
So was it Mr. Matlala's money that you were paying to Mr. Mamela, or do you accept that it was your own money that you were paying to Mr. Mamela?
It was my own money.
So that was the version of how the contract operated when we had regard to your testimony and the statement. But it now seems that you didn't tell us the full extent of your payments. Because the documents that we discovered this morning show that on the 27th of June, there was a 1 million payment from Tasmika, another one of your companies. Well, let's clarify, is Tasmika Construction one of your companies?
Yes.
And did Tasmika pay Medicare 1 million rands on the 27th of June, 1994?
Council, when we received
2024.
Sorry, 2024. Okay.
When we received your documents this morning, for me, this was something, I was confused because I'd instructed my office to make payments from Ziggy Investments and Tamiz Investments. 5 million from Ziggy and 5 million from Tamiz. When I saw those payments, I then made a call to my office to find out, because the instruction I gave was 5 and 5. And I'm still saying 5 and 5. That payment of the SMICA, I need to go, that's why I asked for more time. I needed to go now and check in my office who actually authorized those payments. Because I've got 2 people in the office or 4 people in the office that deal with payments. I gave them an instruction. I said 5 and 5. I give them an instruction to pay from the SMICA.
So are you now saying that that 1 million payment on the 27th of June 2024 was a payment made without your authorization?
I give them instructions. They have access to the bank. They process payments. And they send me.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Carrim, but this is a very simple question. Did you or did you not authorize the payment of 1 million rands from Tasmika that was paid on 27 June 2024?
Not the SMICA. Not the SMICA.
Did you authorize the payment of 1 million from anyone for payment on the 27th of June?
I give instructions. They authorize payments. They do the payments.
No. We're talking past each other. Did you instruct anybody to pay an additional 1 million rands to Medicare 24 on the 27th of June?
No.
So somebody inside your organization took it upon themselves to pay 1 million rands of your company's money without your knowledge or consent?
Yes, I'm confused. Hence, I said to my legal team that I need to get hold of my office. I need to get the people in my office and find out exactly who authorized that payment, because my instructions were very clear. My investment was 10 million. When these payments came, I then tried to call them this morning. They're working remotely, but I need to find out who authorizes payment from my office and who made this payment from my office.
So who have you tried to call today to find this out?
I phoned my payments manager, Mr. Hein van Vuren.
And have you spoken to him today?
Well, I've tried to get hold of him on 2 or 3 occasions now, and we've been busy in here, so.
Well, you were told about these payments, at any rate your attorneys were told about these payments sometime around about 6 o'clock this morning, and you were aware of them before we started. Had you tried to get hold of Mr.
Yes.
Van Vuren before we started?
Yes, I've tried.
Then there was an adjournment to 11:45. Have you spoken to him since you first tried to get hold of him?
In consultation with my legal team, we said once we break here, we need to call them, once we break for lunch.
I see. So you still haven't spoken to Mr. Van Vuren?
No, I've called, haven't spoken to him yet.
I see. Well, Chair, we are a couple of minutes before the lunch break. This might be a good opportunity to give Mr. Carrim the chance to call Mr. Van Vuren.
Sorry, on this point, I'm just trying to understand, is this payment by Tasmika Construction part of the 10 million, or is it over and above the 10 million reflected in paragraph 12 of your statement?
I'd have to go and check, because my instructions to my office was 5 and 5. That was my agreement, 10 million and nothing more. So I need to get hold of Mr. Van Vuren and Mr. Sayed, who are then in charge of payments in my office, and a certain lady by the name of Shakira, and find out who authorized this payment from Tasmika.
Can I just follow up, because I can clarify Commissioner Kumalo's question. If you go to page S3, 3 of your statement bundle.
Yeah. Yes.
There you will see how the 10 million that you refer to there is made up. It's 5 million from Ziggy on 26 June. It's 2.5 million from Tamiz on 7 July. It's 1.5 million from Tamiz on 15 July, and it's 1 million from Tamiz on 24 July. And in Annexure SC1, at the end of your statement, you provide bank statements that show each of these payments that you refer to in 12.1 to 12.3, and those payments add up to 10 million. So the payment of 1 million on the 27th of June was over and above the 10 million. Do you accept that?
It was only brought to my attention this morning.
I'm not debating whether you knew about it or not, but I'm asking you, do you accept that it was over and above the 10 million?
I'll have to go and do a recon and check, Council.
Maybe you can do that recon at lunch while you wait for Mr. Van Vuren to get in touch. But look also at the 1.12 million payment on the 7th of October, because what you'll see when you do that recon is that what you paid to Medicare was not 10 million. It was 12.12 million.
Let us adjourn and resume at 2 p.m.